Terminator Dark Fate Defiance was first announced exactly 1 year ago, December 2021, and RTS fans were eager to get their hands on it sometime this year. Now, some of you might have heard about the news regarding the departure of the original development studio called Cats Who Play back in March this year, and it seemed that the game died before it was even born. The last bit of information from the original developers was that the project was handed over to Slytherin, but no information was given regarding how close the project was to completion. I asked around on the Slytherin Discord, and an employee from Slytherin said that it's still in the works, don't worry. So soon we might have our hands on yet another exciting RTS. There isn't a clear roadmap for this project. Which is pretty clear though is that 2023 is going to be an exciting year for RTS fans, with Broken Arrow, Company Heroes 3, Men of War 2 setting the stage. Now, Terminator Dark Fate Defiance will feature both a single player campaign and up to 2v2 in multiplayer. In a campaign, you take on a role as the leader of the Founders faction in your fight against Legion, a synthetic intelligent machine network that tries to press the delete button on humanity. We know it more as Skynet, but Legion is the more advanced version of it. Instead of being based on steel, its units are based on carbon, so if you have seen one of the more recent Terminator movies, you know what I'm talking about. Besides the Founders and Legion faction, there's also a Resistance faction. Now, currently there is no clear information regarding the difference between the Founders and the Resistance, but from what I can gather, the Founders seem like a more established human military force, while the Resistance is made from partisan groups that have formed pockets of resistance. Now, these are all speculations though, and we'll have to wait for more information. One really interesting aspect is that in the single player, there's also human factions that will compete for whatever supplies or technology you might have acquired. So in reality, it will be a human versus Legion campaign. In multiplayer, you can play as any of the three main factions, so that's going to be a ton of fun. In terms of gameplay mechanics, the developers, so the original developers, try to incorporate a lot of realism. Now, there will be units with a modular health system, there will be armor characteristics, component malfunctions, and overall hull structure. But do keep in mind that through a change of development team, certain aspects of the original plans might be scrapped, or other plans might be added to it. So keep an open mind when I'm talking about these things. Now, in the original plan, there will be infantry units, heavy armored vehicles, plasma cannon tech, drones, and other flying technology, which includes helicopters that can land infantry on top of buildings. Now, speaking of buildings, these maps are highly destructible, so buildings included, which definitely adds to the experience of a game set in a post-Judgment Day world. I hope that Slytherin publishes some more information regarding whether there's any Command and Conquer type of base building, since we do see a lot of specialized buildings in these footages, and if they will also add a campaign for each faction and so on. I will keep you guys up to date on the development of Terminator Dark Fate Defiance and other RTS games that are in the works, so hit that sub button to stay informed.